If you notice, this entire process of singing just this set of exercises would take no more than 20 minutes or so if you do it correctly without stopping. The important thing is to be alert enough to sing them in the exact order without pausing. Moment you stop, then you are compromising on your own stamina, and it also shows a lack of control over the basic exercises. So we need to really train ourselves, and if you sing this correctly, it's one of the most exciting exercises that you can see. How beautifully these things progress. If you look at even the gente verses, you see how the logic has been there in the first gente verse, just covering the sequence, and then second one expands on smaller subsets within that sequence. There is a third one, starts giving you a little more sequential exercises, but still only in pairs of notes. The fourth one actually starts giving you just splitting that 8 into 3 plus 3 plus 2, giving a little bit of sophistication. Fifth one continues on this process, familiarizing you with 5 plus 3. All these things will stand you in very good stead, especially when you are going to a level where you'll start trying out Tanam patterns and Kalpanaswaram patterns. Because singing just 4, 4, 4, 4 is not going to make the music interesting. So in this simple set of exercises, you are already covering a lot of ground. And then we start the 6th, 7th and 8th gente verses, which gives you different carways. So, Sadega, Thariga, giving the carway on the first and the third note. The next one, Sadega, Thariga, giving carways on the second and third notes. And not to miss out on the cycle, 8th one gives you carways on the first and second note. Sadega, Thariga. So you see how many small aspects have been covered in this set of exercises. And that's the vision of this great contributor to our music, which is Purandaradasa. And then you have Dhatu verses. Again, the first one gives you skip notes only in pairs. It's a very friendly introduction to the skip notes, where you have time to adjust to each skip. Then the second and third one allows you to do more challenging kind of patterns. Or third one, so you see small exercises, but with so much of meaning. Now, Alankarams have to be rendered in the exact order that we have followed here. Dhruvatalam, Mattitalam, Rupakatalam, Jampatalam, Triputatalam, Atatalam, Ekatalam. In Ekatalam, I actually followed the prescribed order of showcasing the Chaturasha Jati Ekatalam first, but I have tended to favor Sankirna Jati Ekatalam just so that we also cover that Jati within this Alankaram exercises. So that's what I generally practice. So I have given both. You can work on this. Male-style verses, if you noticed, again, so much of logic. First part of that male-style verse, the very first one, actually, you know what it does. It's not just the sequence that is going to higher notes. The first aspect of the male-style verse is to start giving you exercise in giving carve in the high sa. Every male-style verse gives you that ability. So, you have to work on getting both those shadjams correctly first. And then only, it gives carve on the sa all the time, but touches all other notes in various sequences. Second one will be focusing on re, the third one goes to the next step of ga, but also includes the re while coming back, and then the next one goes to ma, and the final one goes to pa. So in each of this, all the other notes are also covered in the exercise, so that you are getting extra exercises in re maximum, and then one level less ga, one level less ma, and then finally just once you are touching the pa. You see the logic there. Carnatic music, typically most compositions are between the low pa and the high pa, and most compositions will not be dwelling on the high pa at all. They'll only be touching those notes. So this is the perfect way to groom your voice. So same for instrumental music also. Just because your instrument can go to the higher notes, you don't have to be dwelling on those notes too often. So right from Sarali verses, Gente verses, Melodic verses, Alankarams, Dhatu verses, everything, your mindset is also built along with your skill set. That is why these exercises are exceedingly important, even for professional artists. If they find any voice issues and all that, they can rectify this if they sing this in the correct technique. Instrumentalists will develop stamina by practicing this non-stop. So, and also metronome that I used, I never used that in my childhood. Even 6 speeds when we used to practice, it all used to be maintaining the tempo with our mind. But today, I'm using this so that you can practice alongside this, so that ultimately you will start developing the sense of Kala Pramanam yourself. Because if you use this, you will know when you tend to speed up, which phrases you tend to speed up or slow down, and you can rectify them at that level right there. And that is very important, because when you do Kalpanaswarams and other things, many times we don't know. We'll tend to speed up in phrases that seem more comfortable to us, and vice versa. So metronome will give you that skill set to make sure that you increase your comfort levels in challenging phrases as well. So practice this very well in Mayamalavagowla first. We'll also be showing you how to do them in different ragas using a couple of examples. One more thing is that in one of the Acharyanet courses, I have covered all the 35 Alankaras, which I consistently practice for many, many years. They give you a completely different level of skill set. You can also take a look at that and try to incorporate that in your practice regimen.